Go.
All right. So we had a little emergency in our household, and my 4-year-old daughter started screaming, "Mommy, mommy, mommy, mommy." And do you want to know what the big emergency was? My cat was eating one of the plants inside the house. And usually when the cat eats the plants inside of the house, you know what happens next. So we're going to do a 2-part math video this week because we had to take care of our emergency situation. So looking back to where we left off, we had our $1, we had our 25 cents, we had our 70 cents, we had our 30 cents, and we had our 8 cents, paying real careful attention to that zero. Now we are going to add them all up, paying real close attention to my place values. 0 plus 5 plus 0 plus 0 is 5. And 5 plus 8 is, 8 plus 2 is 10, and then 3 more would be 13. So my 3 goes in the ones place, and I bring my 1 over to the tens place. 3 plus 7 is 10, 10 plus 2 is 12, and 12 plus 1 is 13. Notice how I'm being very careful with my answer, lining up those place values. I drop down my decimal point. Then I have to regroup my 1 into the dollars place, and 1 plus 1 is 2, for a total of $2.33. Now, let's try another pile of money. Not as big, not as intimidating. Always got to make sure I pay attention to these things because they are important. I have $2 bills. I have 1, 2, 3 quarters. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dimes. And I have 1 nickel. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pennies. I'm going to use that same strategy, lining up those decimal points to figure out how much money I actually have. So $2, 2 decimal point 0, 0, 3 quarters. Wait, I remember Skip counting by 25s during a morning meeting. 25, 50, 75 cents. Decimal point, 7, 5. 5 dimes, 5, 10, 15. Wait a minute, my brain just stopped me because that doesn't sound right. A dime is worth 10 cents, so I really need to make sure that I'm counting my 5 dimes and multiplying it by 10. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. I always ask you guys to check your work, and even old people like me need to check our work too because we all make mistakes. That's why pencils have erasers. 1 nickel is 5 cents. I look back at the way I wrote 8 cents for my pennies on our last problem, and I'm going to write that 5 cents the same way because there's not a number in the tens place. So I have my decimal point and 5 cents. 6 pennies is going to be very similar. Decimal point, 6 cents. Now I'm ready to add. 5 plus 5 is 10. And 10 plus 6 is 16. My 6 stays in the ones place. I regroup my 1 into the tens place. 7 plus 5. I'm going to break down my 5 into a 3 and a 2 because I love making tens. 7 plus 3 is 10. 10 plus 2 is 12. And 12 plus 1 is 13. Bring down my decimal point and regroup another dollar. And then 2 plus 1 is 3, for a total of $3.36. If you want practice with this, go ask mom or dad. I bet they have some change either stuck in the couch, stuck in the car somewhere, maybe underneath the couch. We always find interesting stuff under there. See if you can practice counting change, and maybe they'll even let you roll up some of that change and you can take it to the bank and turn it into more usable dollar bills. All right, the new thing that we're going to be doing, although we've been practicing with this already, is figuring out how much change you're going to get. Let's say I walk into the store. I want to buy a pack of gum. That gum costs 39 cents. And I'm going to pay the cashier with $1. How much change will I get? Couple of different ways that you can solve this. We're going to set it up like a subtraction problem. I take my $1 and my 39 cents, and I'm going to find the difference between the two of them. 0 minus 9, ooh, I got to do something there. 0 minus 3, ooh, I got another problem. Wait a minute. This kind of looks like 100 minus 39. And I have a strategy if the top number in my subtraction problem ends with all zeros. And that is the -1 strategy. So I'm going to take 100 and subtract 1. I'm going to take 39 cents and subtract 1. So let's see what that comes out with. What number comes before 100? That's right. It's 99. And the number that comes before 39 would be 38. Now I'm ready to subtract in a much simpler way. 9 minus 8, well, that's 1. And 9 minus 3, I'm not that good at subtraction, but I love addition. I know that 6 plus 3 is 9, so 9 minus 3 must be 6. So my answer here is 61 cents. 61 cents can be written two different ways. You could put your dollar sign in the front, then a 0 for $0, decimal point, 61 cents. Or you could write 61, then your C with a line on it, which is your cent symbol. Pretty interesting stuff. Is that right? Is there some kind of way that I could check a subtraction problem using a different mathematical operation? Do you know what it is? That's right, it's addition. So I'm going to take 61 cents. I'm going to add back 39 cents. And it has to make $1 or I've made some kind of error here. Let's see. I always put my mathematical operation sign there so my brain remembers what to do. 9 plus 1 is 10. Regroup my 1. 6 plus 3 is 9. And 9 plus 1 is 10. So I know that my subtraction is accurate because I checked it with the inverse operation of addition. Now, remember during math this week when I gave you the problem 500 minus 124? This is the reason why. Now I walked into the store and I want to buy a hot dog. Hot dog comes with a Coke and it costs $2.63. All I have to pay with is a $5 bill. So I need to figure out how much change is the cashier going to return to me after I make the purchase. So I'm going to take my $5. I'm going to take my $2.63. I'm going to line up those decimal points, line up those place values, and put my subtraction sign because I'm trying to find the difference between these two numbers. You could use the -1 strategy again. That works every single time with a number like 500. But I'm going to show you the box method, which a lot of you use as well. 0 minus 3, can't do it. I see in my box a 50. 500s or 50 tens is the exact same thing. So I need to regroup one of my tens and bring it over to here. If I take 1 away from 50, what does that leave me with? That's right, 49. Now I'm ready to subtract. 10 minus 3, 7. 9 minus 6, 3. Bring down that all-important decimal point, and then 4 minus 2 is 2, for an answer of $2.37. But I always like to double check my money because I want to get my money right. 263 plus 237 should equal to $5. 7 plus 3 is 10. Regroup my 1. 6 plus 3 is 9, plus another one is 10. Bring down my decimal point, regroup my 1. 2 and 2 is 4, and 1 more is 5. So I am checked and ready to go. All right. 2 things I want to point out to you on the computer, and my computer is shut off because this video is way too long. So bear with me while I log in. You've seen me do it 100 times. You might as well go to 101. First one, this is straight out of your Phase 2 learning pack. It is the shopping spree activity. And let me roll through the directions real quick on the shopping spree. Directions: students should take turns being the cashier and the shopper. Maybe you can play with mom or dad, older brother or sister, grandma, grandpa. They love this kind of stuff. Player 1 will spin the spinner to determine the object they are purchasing. You need to zoom in on the screen, honey. Here is what that spinner looks like. You've got dolls and bears and trains and helicopters and different prices. So whatever your spinner lands on, that's what you're going to buy. Then what you're going to do is you're going to figure out how much money you would get back if you paid for each item with a $5 bill, just like we did in our last example on our anchor chart. Once you've done that, you're going to write down your change. Then player number 2 is going to do the same thing. They're going to buy a different item, pay with a $5 bill, and then figure out how much change they received. Then, to figure out who wins that round, whoever receives the greater amount of change is the winner. So you have to actually go ahead and compare those numbers. If you want to use your greater than, less than, or equal to symbols, that's a great way to compare. Remember that the alligator always eats the greater number. And then on the next option from Phase 2, they have something called a money choice board. What this technical difficulties, the technology also comes to my house. He not only lives in our classroom, it's a real thing, I promise. You have something called the money choice board, where they give you all different types of problems that would show that you understand how to use money. Your homework is to 1, play the shopping spree game, and 2, pick 3 problems from the money choice board, solve those, and have mom or dad check them when they have a chance. Once again, if you have any questions or need any help with this, please email me, text me, call me, and I will be happy to provide assistance in the best way that I can. Thank you. See ya. Bye-bye.